What's up guys, it's FunFitchu here, back with another video, and today is week 1 of my 90-day challenge of creating a comic book. And the reason why it's not in days is because if I were to do daily videos, I wouldn't really have much to show you guys, in all honesty. I'm not that fast of an artist and maybe not even that good. Anyway, I just want to give you guys a quick update video on what's been going on with the comic and share what I have with you guys. So let's not waste any time, let's get right to it. Alrighty guys, so the first thing you notice is my page layout is completely different than the traditional rectangular page of a web comic or printed comic, and it is in a square 1:1 ratio, and the reason being is that I'm planning to share this on Instagram, and also I'll be publishing it on Webtoons and Taptastic as well, and having a rectangular layout isn't as important. And also a lot of medium nowadays like memes or Facebook videos are in this square layout, and hopefully this will get some notice. I'm not trying to create some kind of like novel or super viral comic or anything. It's mostly hopefully accomplishing my goal to create a 32-page comic in 90 days. Yeah. So as you can see, it's more of a anime slash chibi style, as well as hopefully gonna be inspired by a Garfield-like storytelling. And the reason being why I chose this style and storytelling is because I consume a lot of anime and manga, and also when I was little I read a lot of Garfield comics, and those were definitely the funniest kind of comics, and I really enjoyed them. And they might be simple or minimal, but if you can do it correctly, it can be really interesting to read. And yeah, so this area right here is gonna be like a custom title page or panel with a custom art. I'm planning to call it like the average life of a boy, or the average life, or something with along with the average. Is more, this comic is so far is gonna be a slice of life of a schoolboy with a lot of anime tropes. Yeah, and to make it original and stand out is really using a more simplistic and Garfield-like storytelling. And when I say Garfield, it's something like this. You see, a lot of these Garfield comics are very I wouldn't say plain, but you can easily follow along with the story it's trying to tell, and the punchline is always, and you always know where the punchline's gonna land. So yeah, I really like Garfield comics, and I really wanted to incorporate that to my first comic as a inspiration at the very least. And yeah, as you can see, they don't really do a whole lot of background, sometimes like in here, but majority of time when it has a single panel, it's usually a flat color with some kind of contrasting to make it slightly pop. And that's what I'm trying to accomplish with these comics, or with my comic. So I guess I should go over the process of how I did these. So let me take away a lot of these layers, because I am so reliant on layers that I guess it's kind of a handicap because my drawing skills is not that great. So first I did the squares in a vector-based program called Inkscape, just so I can customize and adjust it better. And with Manga Studio, you can make your own custom squares, but I found having a vector software is much more easier to manipulate and easy to change. And the first thing I did, once I did the squares or panels, I import them into Manga Studio and then just started doing thumbnails. And this one is at 30 opacity, so I can just draw them. But yeah, this is what I was thinking originally, just doing thumbnails. So I haven't done really any scripting or writing to this comic because the idea is it's more of a gag anime and you don't really need a consistent storytelling. Something like like the Garfield comics, they usually come out on like Sunday newspapers, so I think I don't need to write a script. Maybe I will later on if it gets too confusing. But yeah, once I do these like really rough sketches and where I want stuff to be laid out, I move into, if I can find it, a lot rougher sketches. And let me tell you, I use so many layers that I've probably have a hard time finding where everything is anyway. So give me a minute. Alrighty, we're back. Sorry about that. It took me a while to figure out what I did with my layers. But overall, once I do all the rough sketches, I go straight into the outlines, which is probably the worst way of doing this, especially if you're trying to relearn how to draw. But with this comic book series, I just really want to get into it and create a comic that I haven't been able to make. And what really held me back in the past was just trying to relearn the fundamentals and get hung up on I can't draw the perfect hands, I can't draw the perfect eyes or face or whatever. And it's like, you know what, forget all that. I understand the concept at the very least and just go straight into drawing the comic, and that's what I did. So here you can see my outlines over the rough sketches, and I like to use the pen tool in Manga Studio a lot because it's almost very traditional in that sense when mangakas draw their mangas, or at least that it gives me that feeling of I'm kinda doing what they're doing. And once I do the layers, then I have a whole separate color layer, but this isn't an actual color layer, they're my flat layer. I'm going to add some gradients and textures later on, maybe towards maybe 80% when I'm done, and the 20% will be the fine tuning. So I do the flattening techniques where I take the lasso tool and highlight the area and then use the paint bucket tool and drop the colors in so that it's easier for me to select later on. The reason why I'm not drawing the same time as I'm speaking is because one, I'm a very slow drawer, and this honestly took me a week to finish, so it seems like my pacing is 1 page per week, so it's definitely not gonna be that entertaining for you guys if I were to do live streams or anything, because I'm not that great of a drawer or of an artist, I guess. This is definitely a learning experience and realizing where my skill is actually at and not where I thought my skill could be. So yeah, that's kind of my technique so far, is with a lot of layers. I separate out the thumbnails and then flattening it with some basic colors where it's kind of the color I'm going for, and then later I'll add the gradients and sound effects and textures. So that's definitely way down the line. Real quick, so I really struggle with maybe proportions and hands, especially hands, because hands is probably the hardest thing for an artist in general, for most artists at least when they're first starting out. So I used a software called DesignDoll, where it's a 3D model of a doll, and then I took a screenshot of it to get the right portion. Ugh, sorry about that. So yeah, this is what I did with it. As you can see, I'll just bring it up top. This is kind of like in the software. I'll be sure to leave a link down below where you guys can download it if you guys also struggle with proportions and hands. By reposition the body and the posture that I wanted, and then took a screenshot of it and then place it into the page so I can later trace it. And again, this is a terrible way of learning how to draw if you're just tracing it out of pure reference, but in this case I feel like it works because I'm going for more of a cartoony look anyway. So it's not a direct copy, but it's definitely is a helpful tool. I mean, I do have a one layer that has me drawing out the actual ball and stick technique to get the proportion right, if I can find it. So yeah, it's this one right here. So this ball and stick, ooh, that face. So using the ball and stick, it really helps you to maybe get a general layout or shape of the hand or any body part. So yeah, that's kind of my technique for now. I definitely need to figure out a faster way to get these pages done and also improve at the same time. But overall, that's my process, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully what I said makes sense and somewhat is relatable. But yeah, unfortunately I can't do any like live streams or anything because my computer might not be able to handle all that. Definitely my computer can't handle that, because the last time I tried I actually lost footage and it was been really annoying. So anyway guys, I think that about does it. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that like button if you liked this video, dislike if you didn't, and leave a comment down below if you guys have any suggestion on how I can improve or get better during my 90-day challenge. That'd be greatly appreciated. And for more fun content, be sure to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat. I'm Fun for Chew. I'll catch you next one. Bye!